just realized I was muted. All right. It's about that time. We got the homie Ponteronten, as usual, favorite co-host ever, and we also have a
How you
special
doing?
guest today. Our boy, the Chip God himself, Mr. ShinKensou, the Tech Lord. How you guys doing today?
Doing good.
That's
Doing
pretty
good.
good.
Awesome.
Happy to be here.
Awesome. Definitely want to say before we get started, big ups to the Guilty Gear community in general. I've been streaming for a while now, and I have to say that out of all the communities I've dealt with, the Guilty Gear community is by far the most friendly, most ready to collaborate, regardless of, like view count or whatever. Like I found that a lot of Guilty Gear streamers are always ready to work, So big ups to you, Shin, for coming through, helping your boy out, and definitely,
Easy.
So we have no news today, Ponteronten.
No. Well, there was that big thing, but it's outside of the fighting game community, so we shouldn't really give a hoot about that.
Wait, what big thing?
Activision Blizzard's little situation.
Yeah.
We can drop that immediately and say like, yeah, that fucking sucked. We hope that a good outcome comes from it, but I don't have much to say positive about Activision Blizzard at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, no words. No words.
Yeah. I say we just leave that one right there.
Absolutely.
All right. So first things first, we're just gonna get right into the interview, and then after the interview, Shin is going to first to three the both of us, me and Ponteronten. So he's got to face the Drip Kai and the Drip False. So there you go.
All right. Sounds like fun. Sounds like fun.
Yeah, we're gonna do it on PC, by the way. So
I'm loading up, so I don't have to deal with the server boss.
Oh yeah, yeah. There you go. So first question for me is, I know you've been like a Guilty Gear player for a while. So how did you get into Guilty Gear? Like what's the story there?
Story is essentially back in the day. The first Guilty Gear came out back in like '98, and I saw it in like IGN magazine. It was like highlighted, the better animated than Street Fighter Alpha 3 and all this, that, the other, and better than Street Fighter. And I was a Capcom head at that time, so I was like, there's no way. Right? And
other fighting games besides Street Fighter? Wow.
Right.
Yeah,
So I was like, I was really big into like KOF, Street Fighter, and like Tekken back in the days, and I was like, there's no way this is just that good. So I bought it and I played it, and I was like impressed. Now, granted, the first Guilty Gear is a big POS, right? But the fact that the music was like crazy cool is just different. It was just a different experience. So from that point on, I was like, I'm invested. I'm like totally invested in this series. Like no matter where this series goes, like I'm going with it. Like period.
Man, that's
No matter
interesting. That's interesting. Pon,
Nice,
you got
nice.
a question?
Yeah, we can talk a little about the Kusogi game. That was the absolute first Guilty Gear. I take it like the soundtrack and music was the kind of stuff that caught onto you, I guess. Was there any particular character you stuck with at the start, and have you stuck with Chip ever since,
Oh.
or did you be like, oh, I can't go with this character, we need to pick
Yeah.
someone else?
So my thing about Chip was like he had this like he's always had this mix of like Strider and like Galford from Samurai Showdown, and like I really like I have a very big attachment to both of those characters, and so naturally, like since he's like this cool mix of it, I was like, shoot, why not? And ever since I played him, I literally just never stopped. Like from '98 till now.
Oh wow.
I've played
Nice.
Chip.
So you're,
Good dedication, absolutely.
Literally.
so you're
Yeah.
actually an OG Chip player. Like the
Yeah.
OG is like doesn't get more OG than that. From
True that.
day one Chip player actually. So I would say this. My next question is: do you have a history of like playing in arcades, or were you always
Absolutely.
like playing in consoles? Like, what was the story there? Like, take us through the journey throughout all the different Guilty Gears and how that worked.
So the first game I just played amongst my friends because it's '98. I'm in like I don't know 8th or 9th grade or whatever. We're just playing, having fun. And I just wanted to be
Bruh, 98, 8th
out-
grade? You must be older than me. How old are you?
old enough.
Oh.
Old enough.
Let's respect this, keep it, let's close it there.
But I'm like, I I played with my friends, and I wanted to be better than my friends, and started there, and then like Guilty Gear X had came out, and I had no idea about it, and it was in like a Tips and Tricks magazine. I was like, dude, what? Why it's not out here? So I had to import it on the Dreamcast, and then I played it again with my friends on the Dreamcast, and then later on down the line, the local arcade that I went to, it's called Stargate Arcade in Houston, and we begged the owner to get Midnight Carnival, and because we thought Guilty Gear X would be great, but like Midnight Carnival was like pretty much around the corner. I think maybe like a month or so afterwards it came out. And we were like, had another group of arcade friends that I used to play with a lot, because I definitely transitioned from playing with my friends to moving into the arcade scene. And I play a lot of CVS too, but Guilty Gear was just like, dude, please. We were like, please, let's get this. And then from that point forward, like we played Midnight Carnival. We had 2 arcade setups of Midnight Carnival in our arcade, and it was insanely like huge. It was extremely popular here. Like our weeklies, we used to do weeklies on Tuesdays. Our weeklies were literally like minimum 64, maximum like 128 man.
That's
like
crazy.
Tournament regularly on a Tuesday.
On a work day? Oh, that's
impressive.
Yeah, I mean, gradually over time it went down, but like that's what I'm saying. Like minimum would be like 64, but like yeah, it was pretty popular here because you had the guys who were playing Marvel and CVS too. Like they would cross over and play this game. Like they really liked the game, so it just exploded here.
That's crazy. So you're from Texas, right? So there you go. I've been to Austin once. Well, no, I've been to Austin a few times. I really liked Austin. It's a music town. So, but yeah, that's crazy. So, I guess the next question would be, how did you feel about like Guilty Gear Xrd and Plus R not really being like super popular, but then all of a sudden like Strive being like super popular? And I'm gonna tell you, the way I found out about you is I got recommended a video where you were pretty much telling people like, we want more people to play Guilty Gear. Like, I know a lot of people who are like, I think you were like, there's a lot of OG Guilty Gear players who are like, nah, I don't want people playing Strive because they wasn't down with, Xrd or Plus R. It's like, no, we want this thing to get more popular. So that's how I found out about you, is I got recommended that video. How do you feel, now that Strive is like this big thing and the FGC probably going to go on to sell like 5 or 10 million copies over its lifetime, realistically? It's definitely going to be the biggest Guilty Gear has ever been.
For sure.
And it used to be, like a side thing that people would just look at and be like, oh, I'm not playing that weeb shit, And I'm not going to lie. When I first got into fighting games, I played MK, and someone told me, bruh, play Guilty Gear. And I said, I looked at that shit, I played it, I tried to do Grand Viper with the whole mass shit, and I was like, yo, fuck this weeb shit, bro. Like, I was like, yo, fuck this weeb shit. Fast forward a year later, when Plus R got rolled back, I played it, and I was like, yo, why did I sleep on Guilty Gear? Like, what the fuck? Like, but anyway, you tell me your thoughts on that whole phenomenon.
So, starting with like, I'll go back to like Xrd. Well, yeah, let's go AC and Plus R, right? So like Plus R and all that stuff like that. Like, I honestly never anticipated Plus R to ever like blow up. Like, rollback obviously helped that, but my thing is like it's like the oldest of Guilty Gear games, So I never really anticipated people to really try to go back to that. So it was really good to see, especially with rollback. Xrd. I did anticipate Xrd like picking up some steam, right? Because the graphics were like amazing at the time.
Oh yeah,
and no one was doing graphics like that for in any fighting game. And for what it's worth, Xrd back then was like the prettiest thing you could probably see.
I mean, it's still pretty.
Yeah,
it's still great looking. My opinion.
I mean, it came to the promo when they actually made a teaser trailer to the whole thing. A lot of people was like, "Oh, frick! They're doing high definitions, like drawn by hand sprites. It's ridiculous." And then they do the whole rotation shot, and it was just like, "Wait, that's 3D? Woo!"
Yeah, oh, dude, that I don't even cap. So, really quick story about that first trailer for Xrd. I was actually at work, and then I saw it, and people were like texting me like, "Dude, Xrd." I'm like, sure about that, big fella. I clicked that link. I saw that trailer. I shed a tear at my job. My coworker's like, "You're okay?" I'm like, "It's Guilty Gear." And you know, yeah, just like I knew Xrd would like take off a little bit, and I mean the first Evo had like well over 1,000 entrants, give or take, right? So Guilty Gear was definitely growing at that time, and then you got to keep some things in perspective, right? Street Fighter V wasn't the hotness, you know, it came out and it kind of flopped for a lot of people. So a lot of people were coming to my stream and other Guilty Gear player streams was like, yo, Guilty Gear, man, this is kind of cool. And I'm like, look, I can explain this game to you in like the most layman terms. What game do you play? Smash Brothers? Okay, I'll explain it to you in Smash Brothers. You play MK? Okay, I'll explain it to you in MK. We play Street Fighter? I'll explain it to you in Street Fighter. So I made it a lot easier for people to like really get into the game, and that led into me getting Twitch partner and a bunch of other stuff, right? That's one of the blogging. But Guilty Gear was growing, and it was really good to see so many people playing and just being interested, you know. And Xrd wasn't. It was an easier version of Accent Core, in my opinion, and it had a good balance of like Guilty Gear Reload and Guilty Gear Slash, which were two of the more popular ones. Not that AC wasn't extremely popular either, but like Reload was probably hands down leaps and bounds. Like it was the most popular because you had people in Korea playing it. Where like here's a little bit of lore. The two most popular characters in Korea were actually three. The three most popular characters in Korea back in Reload were Johnny, Slayer, and Venom. And there were a lot of Korean players who actually participated.
That sounds reasonable.
Like, yeah, and they participated in like I think there was a team from Korea that participated in SBO like a year or two for Reload. But you know, you had players from Taiwan, you had players across. They were just playing like crazy when it came to Reload, and then obviously that trickled on into other versions, right? But it was doing really well back then, and I think it got even bigger with Xrd, and like you know, coming into Strive, like naturally you had a lot of like OGs or like. What I joke around on my stream is hashtag not my Guilty Gear, because it's like, oh, well, I can't YRC, or I can't blue cancel, or I can't this. And it's like, well, it's a different game. They want new people to play it. You can make a little bit of sacrifice for like, you know, having more people playing your game. You know, like my personal thing was like, for the longest time, I kid you not, you could ask even some of my old friends, and that's a bit of a stretch for y'all, but they would tell you like, if you mention Guilty Gear, I'm like there front and center, like who wants to learn, you know, who wants to get this game down, and I'm just like, I've always been like that dude, you know, despite content creation and stuff like that, even in my own locals, like I will help you, like I don't care where you're from, I'll be like, hey, how do you do this? Okay, let me show you now, let me try to do this, and you'll ask me one thing, and I will stretch that to an entire hour, and you'll be mind blown about all the options you could do from just that one thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, Guilty Gear is such an expansive game, and even with the simplification of the game, quote unquote, the game still has a lot of like depth to it that a lot of people aren't, you know, looking into, or they're like taking for granted because they're like, oh look, I just do this and I win. And it's like, yeah, for maybe someone like me at that level that understands that I can simplify this, and an intermediate / newer player will have a difficult time stopping that. But as you climb the ladder, the game gets harder.
It does.
So and I think
Absolutely.
it should be easy to play, hard to master, you know, and I think that's where most games should be. And in fact, that's where a lot of games are now, you know, not just fighting games, but League of Legends, you know, it's an easier version of Dota, has a massive amount of people playing. Harder version of that is Dota. Doesn't mean it doesn't have its audience, right? So there's nothing wrong with like a massive appeal, and I think that's a big problem with like the old guard, where they don't like, you know, it's like this was niche and we only had us. It's like, yeah, dude, but I don't want to just play the 128, 200 people that we've been playing with for all these years. Like, there are a lot of people who've always liked Guilty Gear, who wanted to play Guilty Gear, but looked at it and was like, that's too hard. And even with me explaining it to people, they're still like, that's still too hard. And it's like, all right, fine. Maybe another version will come out and maybe you'll like that one. So here we are with this one. And it's just, to me, as someone who's been playing for so long, like, I don't care if you beat me. I'm just glad you're playing the damn game. I don't care if you're competitive. I don't care if you're casual. I don't care if you're like a new like your level of play means like nothing to me, because in the grand scheme of things, you're playing the game with other people. Like, you can love me, hate me, whatever. All I care is that you play the game. Competitive, casual, tournament, no tournament, exhibition, no exhibition, mashing, no mashing, in the towers, not in the towers, in the park. I don't, training mode, mission mode, story mode, I don't care. Just play the damn game. That's how I feel, and it's not going to change.
I mean, I gotta say,
That's a good comment to make. Yeah,
that's definitely real talk, because me personally, I feel like this game, out of all the fighting games I played, so during the pandemic, you know, Mortal Kombat was my entry into the FGC, or should I say like my re-entry. You know, I used to play Street Fighter and stuff like that in arcades back in the 90s or whatever. But then I left home at 16, went out into the world, did my thing, and it wasn't until I moved to France that I had the time to actually game. So that's when I started getting into streaming and stuff. And my friend was like, "Hey, play fighting games." So I got into MK like that. And once I got fed up with how bullshit MK was, I started looking for other fighting games, and during the pandemic, I played like literally every fighting game, and that's when I started revisiting Guilty Gear again, and I was like, oh my god. And I think it's because like I didn't like Guilty Gear when I first tried it because I didn't really know anything about fighting games, right? So
Understood.
in my opinion, it felt like it was overly complicated, or I don't know, it just felt weird.
Yep. And that's everybody.
But
That's
but
everybody.
once
Sounds
I
about
like
right.
but yeah, once I understood like fundamentals and stuff like that from like playing, I relearned how to play Street Fighter, played a little bit of Grand Blue, KOF, like literally everything. When I say I played everything, I literally played a little bit of everything. And I came back to it. I was like, oh, this game isn't that bad. It's not that hard. It's actually quite easy. It's like,
Mhm.
but one thing I wanted to talk to you about is the fact that Guilty Gear is a game that is easy to get into, but the way the game is designed, it pushes you towards like learning fundamentals. Like I actually had a whole conversation
Absolutely.
with my stream this morning. Pawn, I don't know if you were there, but this
Sadly,
morning-
I wasn't. I was busy with other stuff.
yeah, well, we had a conversation this morning about Go Lewis because I just got done playing like Mia, who's like a Middle Eastern player. He was literally one of the best Middle Eastern players in Mortal Kombat. Switched over to Strive, and now he's like fucking level 2,000 soul or some shit. Like he's super.
Oh.
like it's not even soul at this point, bro. It's just him. Like I played him. Like he's baiting everything. He's punishing bursts. Like he's playing Guilty Gear like he's always played Guilty Gear. This is his first Guilty Gear. He's playing it like a fucking pro. So he picked up Gold Lewis, played him. I think the official ending match tally was me was 5 and he was like 25 or something like that. But I had taken a lot of rounds, so I take a lot of rounds, but he always ended up like clutching it in the end, right? So we hit the lab, and I was basically like, this is very interesting because characters like Soul and characters like Gold Lewis force you to play neutral against them. And the penalty for not playing neutral in footsies against these characters is literally just losing the game. Like,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
true story.
and then that led us into the conversation about like me defining what neutral and footsies was to the chat, and basically explaining like Guilty Gear. A lot of people think that Guilty Gear has no neutral and footsies because there's so much stuff going on so fast. But in reality, this game forces you. Like it doesn't really force you; it just nudges you in that direction as you climb the skill ladder and you play stronger and stronger opponents, who can maximize their damage off of like a jab or something.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
That you start thinking like, okay, I need to keep him in this range or else I lose. And that's basically footsie
Absolutely.
range. And it's
Yep.
kind of like, and this is what I was telling people. It's like it's so crazy that like even Guilty Gear Strive, this game that everybody swore to God was going to be so easy, it was slow, it had no sauce. The more we dig into this game, there's always something new to find out about it every single day.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
So how do you feel
It's-
about that? Is that like a Guilty Gear thing? Is that like the way Guilty Gear games have always been? Because I wasn't really like I played Exert and I mostly played Plus R, but I wasn't there when those games were like being discovered, or like figured out or developed.
I would say yes. I would say yes because like the thing about Guilty Gear is this: like it doesn't matter the version, even this one, right? So even through the simplification, like you lose to something, you can lab it, right? And for what it's worth, right? This game's training mode is the best training mode for like any Guilty Gear game, like hands down, right? The fact that you can do so many things, you can like take any scenario in which you lost to and put it back in the training room and just be like, aha. And the beauty part of Guilty Gear is that there's a lot of discovery. And one of the things, and I will say this is probably the only thing as an old player that does irritate me, is that there are a lot of new players who think that this game is cut and dry. Like it's not like Street Fighter where, oh, he jumped at me, anti-air. Duh. Yeah, we know that. But like, how do you anti-air? Do you air to air him? Do you air throw him? Do you 2H him? Do you 6P him? Do you super? Do you blue RC and slow down his normal and anti-air with like that way? Do you PRC your move and anti? There's too much situational nuance.
Yep.
That to just say just do this.
Oh, don't even
Does
get
not-
us started on the just do
Oh,
this
boy.
combo.
Does
Yeah,
not-
I can actually bump in here a little bit. You can
Yeah, go
talk
for it, go
about
for
this a little bit really quick in game design. In game design, when you create an analog board game, they follow something called the three principles or three standards. 7 actually. One of them was interesting choices. That's actually what you described just now. Whereas I had to do an anti-air. What can I do? Jump up, air grab, stand, crouching heavy, do a shoryu, whatever. That's a selection of different options you can do, and they all come with different kinds of solutions and also drawbacks. Meaning that if you're going to try and air throw him, you're going to risk yourself. If you try to do a DP, he can block it. What do you do then? So that was a good way that you brought that up, actually, because that adds more depth into the game, meaning that it's not just a shoryu. There's other alternatives to an
Absolutely.
anti-air approach.
I mean, I have an
Nah.
interesting story about that as well. Like, even today when I was playing against Mia, like, he was doing jump dust spam with fucking Gold Lewis, you know, because apparently that button is broke. And I was like, okay,
It really is.
I'm just gonna fucking DP it, you know. It turns out that he was baiting, so he blocked my DP and punished it. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll try to air throw it next time. Then he jumped in an air backdash and punished me, and I was like, okay. I mean,
That's the game.
yeah, and I literally
Players.
gotta like tell my chat so many times about the whole like just 6P it meme. Like, I don't know where people got this from, but it's like even when I play plus R, it's never as simple as just do this.
Nope.
Like it's
Nope.
not, it's
Nope.
never that in Guilty Gear. Like you could say that for Street Fighter, right? Like Street Fighter, when you're playing Street Fighter, someone's jumping at you, it's like, bro, just DP, bro. You know, like easy.
Like
You know,
the thing to that, and I'm just gonna keep layering this little statement we got going on here. Like, okay, so here is where I'm gonna give you guys a trend of my thoughts. So we'll use the anti-airing, right? All right, so I'll break it down in like I'll use three options, and I won't go over those, but I want to, but I won't. I'll use 3 options, right?
I mean, you
So
can.
that-
We got time if you want.
Okay,
We
okay.
can break it down. You know.
Okay, so all right, I'll use a few. So I'll use chip, jumping, kick, air to air. I'll use chip, air throw, and I'll use DP. Right. So I know if I jump, kick, air to air, and you block it, I can air dash and continue my pressure. Right. I know if you jump and you air block my DP, I'm still safe because thanks drive. I know if I air throw you, now I have post situations from the air throw. Like now I have Oki situations, right? So now we have options 1, 2, and 3, right? So if I jump kick, I can air dash on you. I can leave you in the block stun and drop on you with falling H because you have the extra 19 frames of like block stun. And then my air dash is still retained, so I can do even more overheads. I can double jump into, I can do the same thing, double jump off of that, and then do J2K. I can air dash go low. I can air dash throw. I can air dash leaf throw. I can 2K into leaf throw. I can 2K 5K. I can 2K 2K. I can 2K. I can 5K 2K run up throw. And that's just from the jump K. So we've already have a whole branching tree from there. Let's talk about if I do air throw. If I do air throw and you tech, we go back to neutral. I'm okay with that. I jump up, I air throw you, I land it. I can do run up sweep gamma, it's meaty, and then I get to run in your face. I can do air throw, run in your face, wait, bait your DP. I can do air throw, run in your face, backdash blue RC. Did you uppercut? No. Guess what? It's still my turn. Did you uppercut? Yes. Time to die. Are you going to burst? Go ahead and burst if you want to, because blue RC makes it so your burst comes out slower, in case you guys didn't know that. So I have more time to react. I do close slash, and I jump cancel. If you DP, if I jump cancel and you didn't burst, guess what? I get to do J2K on you anyway, knock you down tech roll. Notice where I'm going with this. I can do this. I can do this for hours. I can do this for hours.
This is the depth we keep talking about. Exactly. It's just like you have 3 solutions, but then they multiply beyond from there. And
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
something that we wanted to look at with Strive, where people just look at like, oh, why is half my stuff gone from Exert? It's just like maybe because there's a whole more options you get now in Strive here.
It's less options, but there's more possibilities off of these limited options. And you know what's
Absolutely.
funny, Shin? I remember a while back when Strive came out, I came to your chat and I was like, "Oh man, they need to buff Kai," and you went on like an hour long fucking tirade. And
You Kai
from
players, they
ho-
making me feel ways,
hold on, hold on, hold
man.
on. But let me tell you, after that day, I came back on my stream the next day and I told my chat, I was like, I really thought about what Shin said, and I'm not dropping Kai. We're gonna fucking develop it. And now to the you are the reason why Drip Kai exists. Just to let you know, I'm not even capping.
Yes.
Motherfuckers
It's
sitting up here wondering like they like, yo man, Meta, your Kai's kind of nice. I'm like, thanks Shin, thank this guy right here, because if
Nice.
he didn't tell me, if he didn't go on that hour long diatribe about like, how good Far Slash was, how good 6H was, how good 2S was, how good
Your
Kai
normals are
Sweet.
oppressive.
Yeah, so
Holy shit.
I basically went in the lab and I started developing like a lot of stuff, right? And I would say as of recently, and I know my chat is probably tired of hearing this, but like I have come up with some crazy ass shit for Kai, bro. Like the Sacred Edge shit, the Jump Dust shit, the oppressive normal shit. Like I really realized that Kai's normals are like godlike. They're ridiculous.
Yes,
Like
absolutely.
you know.
I've been dealing with this since Xrd, and even though my character had slightly better options against him, like it's just the fact that like I think what you needed to learn and maybe what you needed to hear, and maybe you've probably digested this, but like when you understand your ranges and the ranges you have to play at, you become an oppressive player even by just pressing 2 buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Far slash is amazing, standing heavy slash is amazing. Like when you look at the hitboxes on that character's normals, it's like I understand maybe slide is a little funky with certain ranges, and that's something that's always been a Kai trait. Where like learning how to use slide has always been a thing for Kai players for sure. Like trust me, back in the day, listen man, in Midnight Carnival, like the very first one, like very first XX, Kai is a background character. Like the characters that are in the background of the stages.
Yeah.
That's what he was. Like he was unplayable. Reload is when he became a lot better, right? And it's a lot of it had to do with like slide spacing and how slide traveled and whatnot. And Xrd is when they made it 5 frames and made it travel the way it did. And a lot of the changes that they did to him in this game was because in Xrd, that character was extremely oppressive when played. When he was played properly,
Oh yeah.
that character
I
was
know.
very like the only thing stopping Kai in this version of Guilty Gear from being extremely OD is the loss of 3H. Because he used to do far slash into 3H launch into green
I know.
receiver.
I know.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I show my chat this clip every day of me doing 3H shit in plus R and in Rev, and I'm like, oh, I'm plus 3H, I'm plus 15. GG's. Now mix up. Oh, now I'm plus again, another 3H. Oh, now I'm plus again. Oh, jump dust into jump charge sun edge into 3H.
Meta,
Oh.
Meta, I need to understand something. I need to understand something real quick. Hold on. So I'm talking about the lift move in
the
that he was
swishy
the lift,
one.
right?
Yeah, the swishy one.
Right, and then the 6H was the that do double slash that he got in Rev.
Oh yeah,
but check
that
this
one.
out.
Yeah.
But check this out. So imagine Kai players in Xrd complaining that before he got the new animation change, that move used to be plus like 16.
Yeah, it was like the plus R one. Yeah.
And when they redid the animation, it was plus 12. And would you believe Kai players still complained that it wasn't plus enough? I need this is why I get so tight about Kai players. I'm like, bro, they can give you like the most oppressive normals. Like Kai's not good enough. You used to get sweep, split seal into grinder, and you got 2 mix-ups. You have a standing low, you have a standing low, 2 crouching lows. Actually 3 crouching lows because crouch slash.
Mm-hmm.
You get to do a million mix-up from ABC sweep. Mm-hmm. What more do you want?
I don't know, man.
You get neutral. You get like listen?
Listen. I have
that character's old 2H used to make me so tight because it used to go underneath mid highs. Every character in the game, he'd be like, "I'm gonna run at you 2H trade. Looks like it's time to die because I did a counter hit move with Kai, and I guess I'm gonna do my basic bitch combo and do 30%." And then I'm going to return to neutral and laugh at you because now I have the life lead and now you got to play around my ranges and my oppressive normals and my like.
Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. Kai in this game, I'm going to tell you right now, because you gave me that convo, because you yelled at me that day, I went in the lab, I found out stuff, and I found out that Kai is extremely oppressive also in this game. Like he's like I told folks, I literally dropped a video on it where I was like, Kai literally has what I call the pressure loop, where he can literally do a whole block string, space himself out enough, and then he can do another food arc, or and actually food arc. He could do food arc, or he could do stun edge, or he could do what's it called, stun dipper. Two of those three options, he could PRC to continue to damage, or he could do Sacred Edge and be plus 10 to 15. If you're already in shock state, now he's plus 15 in your fucking face. If you press a button, that's a counter hit combo to like 300 damage in the corner. You know what I mean? And chat, you guys have seen me do this shit. I have literally counter hit the holy fuck out of motherfuckers, not respecting my plus frames. You know, and what a lot of people don't know is that if you're in shock state, for some reason, it seems like food arc is a frame trap in shock state.
Oh, no, it is.
Yeah, so you can't even anti-air it. So like if you do it right and you like get shock state and then you end your combo in a food arc, like a lot of people will try to jab out or 6B out. They're like, yo, why am I getting counter hit? You know?
Plus 6.
It's plus. It's plus, dog. Like, I'm plus. And literally when I'm playing, I'm literally screaming, I'm plus!
I've seen it.
You see
I can attest, I've seen it. Bitch, I'm plus! I was like, bro, I was sitting here in my chair one morning and I was just like, my man.
I was
That's
like,
what I like to see.
yeah, I was like, bro, I'm fucking plus, dog. Fuck out of here. Like, stop pressing buttons. Like, I'm always plus. You gotta make
it was my turn. God.
Yeah,
Look. You thought it was your turn. It's still look. I spent 50. It's still my turn.
Yeah,
please respect my turn.
Yeah, like real talk.
Respectfully.
So, and you know, I hang out at your stream sometimes. I lurk in there, and I see you like, you know, talking to your chat. And you're telling them like, nah, man, you need to understand this option. You know, and like I said, you coming on this stream, this is a perfect synergy because we do mostly analysis here. You know, even though there's some of my viewers who like fucking try to force me to play rank a lot, I'm not really like big into rank. I'm big into like analyzing this game because there's so much meat on the bone in this game that it's like just playing ranked is like not really doing it for me. It's like, no, like I want to watch high level people do stuff. I want to see the interactions. I want to like, oh, ICFC Asia last week. Hissy Soul, right? Oh my. Yeah, you know, oh my god, bro. Like
he was on some shit.
Yo, we found like 5, like he showed us 5 different fucking things that I did not even know you could do in this game. You know? And we literally went and labbed it. Like he literally walked up, he ran, he got Oki, ran up on the Ram. Ram did wake up, you know, or wake up Invul Super. He did meaty DP. And it won. And I was just like, is that real? And we went in the lab and we tested it, and it's real. You can legit just meaty DP a motherfucker out of their full invul super because apparently the invul of the DP is longer than the invul of the super.
Yep.
God damn.
So if you got 50 meter, and I also noticed Churara, the Kai player, he's literally one of the best Kai players I've seen, period. He does that too. He literally does meaty DP RC. And I was wondering why he was doing that until I saw Hissy do it, and I was like, oh, that's why. Because if you got 50 meter, meaty DP is the play. You know? Because then they can't
speak for yourself, Kai players and Leo players and Soul players. Chip ain't got that much iframes for that. But yes, I agree. I concur.
Yeah. So, you know, that's crazy. So yeah, anyway, Pont, you got any insight or questions you want to throw in here?
Well, since we can actually go with we actually been looking a bit on the current, present, and a little in the past, and I think that it was very interesting to talk about you with these sort of things, Kishan. Might as well actually look into a little bit to the future. We are, as you have seen yesterday, we saw the release of Gold Lewis, the latest new DLC character. We can go in about that in a little bit. I was just curious about the certain leaks that have been going around. Do you still feel like your type of character you would like to see make a release in Strive, or do you feel like whatever goes?
I'm on option B, whatever goes, and it is primarily because I think, like from my standpoint, I've played the series for so long, I'm happy with whoever comes in. My thing is, I want there to be a character for everybody. Like,
absolutely,
I got my boy. I'm not even tripping. Like, I'm good. Like, I started with the default character, and I'm dying with the default character.
Nice.
So I would say this though, and this was probably gonna piss off some people, but I'm gonna just be honest. As long as they keep Holy Order Soul out of my game, I'm good.
I like those answers that you provided. I can agree as well on the whole, like whatever goes. We see a lot of interesting characters, and whoever comes in and they fit well into the Strive's gameplay mechanics, that would be great. Let's go actually with Gold Lewis, since we were thinking about talking a little bit about Gold Lewis actually. We can start with you, Shin, if you actually want to say some things, what you feel about Gold Lewis. Like, do you think like this was a good DLC character, or do you feel like could have been some adjustments around him, or not?
I will do this. I'm gonna start with my feelings about the character in general, and then I'll move into that stuff. So I'm gonna just be honest. I'm from Texas. That character is a Texan.
Yeah, he is.
By price, I have to play him. Okay, it's just like in Samurai Showdown. I play Earthquake because he's from Texas. I play Galford and I play Earthquake because they're from, Galford's from California, but Earthquake is from Texas. So naturally, I have to play Gold Lewis. I thought Gold Lewis was a great introduction. Like, I thought he was a good character to come into the series because, you see him in Xrd. He's in the background. He's in Soul Stage. He's like rocking on the chair, eating a hamburger, and it's like he went from a background character to a playable character, which I think is pretty cool. But I think so from a lore standpoint and a coolness factor, I think he's a great addition into the series. His gameplay, on the other hand, I think while it's going to develop right now from what I played, and I played a lot of Gold Lewis yesterday, man, he's got a lot of tough matchups.
Yeah.
Like, I think I know why. I know the way that they designed him because it makes sense to me playing Arxis games all my damn life. But I think there are some things to be desired about him. I do anticipate things changing. People will, they will, develop him further, of course. The inputs, they don't really bother me. Some people think because I play on Hitbox, like Hitbox players are going to have a difficult time doing, Typhoon. I'm like, dude, this isn't necessarily difficult. It's just you have to practice it just like anything else in any game, right? I do think that there are some things to be desired, but it's not to the point to where he can't play the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I think right now from playing him, I think his neutral is extremely hard. But
I agree.
his corner game is where he shines. But getting people to that position.
Well, I got something to tell you about Mr. Gold fucking Lewis, and you can thank Mr. Mia, best fucking Middle East player, for fucking showing me this shit today. He was just doing shit, but I saw something in what he was doing, and I kind of took it further when I went into the lab, right? So one thing I noticed is that you're right, 100%. He struggles in neutral. He struggles to get in. He struggles to force you to block. But I think the reason for that is because once you block a Behemoth Typhoon, it is now his turn, and you now have to guess. As far as so here's what we found out. The Behemoth Typhoon that guard breaks, right, is like mad plus, right? He can frame trap that into the overhead one. He can frame trap that into literally any behemoth, like any of the far reaching behemoths. So you as a defender need to make a read on which behemoth he's going to do. And you cannot react. You can't react. You have to make a read. Because if you jump and he does the high one, then you get hit, you get wall bounce, you die. Right? If you try to go low and he hits you, you get wall bounce and you die. If he could also do another mid one to stop you from running up as well. Right? So all of these things are actually frame traps. So if he goes for the low one, you have enough time to jump over it. But he also recovers fast enough that he could react to your jump in at the same time. So, and then here's another thing I found out, and this is specific to Kai, right? When he does knock you with the behemoth and you go full screen, he's at advantage because let's say he has full security meter. Even if he doesn't, he pulls out the minigun. You gotta block it. You're gonna take a stupid amount of chip. If you FD the whole minigun at full security level, that takes it takes 75% of your meter just to FD that, just to stop you from getting chip. So if you're in a low life situation, that's literally a checkmate situation if you have no meter. Or they can use it to either you now gotta say, I'm gonna pay with my life or I'm gonna pay with my meter. And if you pay with your meter, now you're in meter penalty for a while. He's got meter, you don't. So now you're fucked, right? And then here's another thing I found out. Same situation as when you block the behemoth. After you block the minigun full screen, it's still Gold Lewis's turn. Because now you got to make a read on getting in. He can either summon the drone, he can do another minigun, the low security level one to stop you from like doing something or whatever. He can jump he can do literally anything. Another behemoth, jump behemoth, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean?
And that's just it. Not to cut you off. I think that's where Gold Lewis shines. I think like trying to play him like aggressively isn't really the wave. I think you should play him defensively, because when people move in on like level 1 drone, it's kind of like Testament's tree.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's slow enough so if people try, oh, he did drone, I'm gonna jump in. It's like, no, Gold can block from a specific range, and then you'll get, it'll trade, and you can gain ground. I don't really feel like you get an actual combo per se. You might be able to get super, but I mean, regardless, like he does have stuff, like everything you're saying is 100% accurate. I had the pleasure of playing my boy Frankentank last night in the Potemkin matchup, and I was like, this can't be that bad. It's probably okay for Gold Lewis. Let's just say with drone, your neutral is his neutral, because he can flick drone.
Oh, wow,
so sure, drone comes out, he can flick it, and then the projectile stays on screen from the flick. Drone forces him to block, but the block stun isn't long enough for him, so he can still travel forward despite that. So he'll just block drone, and he can hammer fall in, and then you still have to deal with the flick projectile.
Got it.
So, and then he can flick. Man, let me tell you how that matchup goes. That matchup, God. So, Gatling gun and drone literally lose to Kara Megafist.
Really?
Ooh.
Free.
Oh, that's crazy.
You can stand at a specific range. So at a specific, let's say round start, you're both backdash range. Let's say you both backdash, right? If you do Gatling gun, he can Kara Megafist from about that far and pop you with the late frames and still get a combo. If you do Gatling gun or drone.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I haven't even seen that matchup yet. So
it's like everything. Oh my gosh, dude! I've played
Clash of the Titans.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I thought that you could just zone him out. Yeah, sure, you can use Gatling gun, but I'm gonna be honest. I think Gatling gun level 3 is pretty bad. I think drone.
I don't know. Against Kai, man, it fucking shuts me down. Like, especially full screen, like it just shuts me down. Like, cause I don't know why. Like, I've been looking for a solution for it, but I haven't found one yet. But
in wake up situations, it's fine. Mm-hmm. I understand you want to like. It sucks to lose all your meter, but like even if he has more meter than you, I feel like it's not as scary. But I do think that match is pretty 5-5. I played that extensively yesterday. Like I played Axel.
Oh yeah, how is the Axel matchup? That's what chat wants to know. Yeah. Chat has been asking about the Axel matchup for like a minute now. They want to know.
Okay.
Oh
he literally wins with like 2 buttons.
Oh no.
He does jump slash. Okay, so jump forward slash beats Gatling gun and it beats drone.
Oh wow.
So you can't do that. And level 3 Gatling gun in that matchup is what made me believe that Gatling gun is level 3 Gatling gun is bad. Mm-hmm. It's not that it's bad in the sense that you can't use it in a chip situation, but trying to use it in neutral to try to like, hey, I think you might sickle flash here. I'm gonna preemptively do this. And he sees you pull out the Gatling gun and he's like, oh, that's cool, my dude. Let me just jump up and you lose your security gauge off of. And like it's not even about the damage, it's just the fact that you have to build that up again to try to play neutral with him. And then it's like, oh, I think you might do drone. I guess I'll just do full screen command grab and boom, clothesline, and then I'm gonna go 2H and go back to neutral and just look at you because guess what? You can't do anything.
That's crazy.
Right? And when he hits 2H, this is the best part. So he presses 2H and you tech roll backwards, right? Mm-hmm. So then he's like 5P. 5P again. 5P. 5P Rensengeki. Or Sickle Flash, right? So I'm gonna do this. And Gold Lewis can't punish Snail.
Oh, he can't?
So if he does 214H, it's like, what are you? I'm gonna micro dash in and hit far slap. How?
Yeah, he's already gonna hit you if you can't punish it. Yeah.
You can't even jump at him because he can do snail, and you'll get caught by the tail end of it going upwards. So the upwards hitbox will catch him, and it's like, I guess I'll go back to neutral now.
That's crazy.
And then guess what he's doing? I'm charging. Sickle flash. Yeah, bomb. And all that chip damage is super free. Every button Axel presses is an anti-air. Far slash, anti-air. Stand heavy, anti-air 5K, anti-air 5P, anti-air 2P, anti-air 2H, anti-air. Pick a button, it's anti-air.
That's crazy, man.
Any button, like, you can't.
That sounds about
jump at it.
that sounds about as rough as the Potemkin Axel matchup. I mean, Potemkins are making it work though, so I mean, I'm pretty sure Gold Lewis mains will make it work at some point. But
even if you drone and you jump, Gold Lewis's jump doesn't go very far. So even though you jump the command grab, you can still land into it because his jump is so slow, and the command grab is slow enough. So like Gold Lewis's box is like this fat, right? And the command grab is like this, right? So you see it, you jump it, and the command grab lands on you, and either way it goes. So you have to jump and backdash.
Oh, that's
it's really difficult. It's you literally lose like two. He doesn't have to do anything. It's like it's if he wants to fight you, he can. You want to know another matchup that's really bad? Zato. I think that's Zato's best matchup.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Like
dude, zoners basically.
Frog.
Absolutely.
Oh, dude. Frog is like Gold Lewis's nightmare. Sure, you can Gatling gun and stop Eddie, right? But then he does a pose, and Eddie eats the whole thing, and then he unsummons, and it's like, cool, nice level 3. Nice level 3 Gatling gun.
You get like no value for it, right?
And I mean, you can use drone, right? But like, then he just flies. So it's like, use drone, and he's like, let me just hover over you menacingly. Hi. It's good to know that you wasted a level 3 drone all the way on the floor. Eddie's, by the way, Eddie's recovering, and we'll be down there to mess you up the second we hit the ground. Don't worry about us. We'll see you in a minute. Don't call us. We'll call you.
Oh, by the way, I have a half tension meter. Let me just use the sword super and then summon Eddie right behind you.
Oh, you wanted to set drone. Executioner. Hey, Eddie, go over there, big dog. Oh, wait. Oh, hey, Zato, we got 50? We going over there? Hey, go Lewis, what's up? You doing okay over there? And it's like, Eddie's like, behind Gold Lewis, like, what's up? And Zato's like, what's up? It's like, these dudes are just punking you. You're like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So what are you gonna do? I wanna move, but I'm gonna do super. And then you hit Eddie, and then he's like, cool, guy, run up command grab. And guess who's back? Eddie comes back on the floor. It's like, yeah, it's like, dude, what am I supposed to do in this matchup? What am I supposed to do?
That's hilarious.
This is so bad.
So chat also wants to know about the Gold Lewis Ram matchup. They want to know about that one.
I can, while you think for that, I can actually bump in here and help with the Faust matchup a little bit. I can also say that Minigun has a little bit of work on Faust, because Faust can use low profile the whole thing. And if you're quick enough by actually teleporting, you can actually do the slash variant to actually drop on top of him, or you can teleport behind him and then Roman cancel and then taunt him while he's doing his level 3 and say like, dude, what's happening?
Faust now has a good matchup. other than Potemkin, right? And it's like, dude, okay, so against Ram, it's like, I'm playing neutral, I'm doing okay, I know I don't really get big damage. So Ram doesn't get big damage in neutral without meter, but she's playing for the corner. So it's like Gold Lewis doesn't have normals to contest far slash. And for what it's worth, I think 6P is what I call a bill, and if you know what bills are, we don't like to pay bills. That's why I say it's a bill. So it's like, oh man, like he can't use his 6P to plow through the mid-high, like Soul, like Kai, Chip, Faust, a lot of characters, right? Because his 6P is just straight up,
it's like way up there.
Yeah, so he can't counterpoke that way, so he has to kind of wait, and while he can play outside far slash range, he has to preemptively Behemoth to try to counterpoke her, and then she just plays outside Behemoth range and just like, nice whiff, big dog, run up far slash heavy slash, cool. So like she gets to play this kind of easy whiff punish game against him, so you're kind of stuck like, I guess I'll just do drone, and then she double jumps and just does air slash, the 2 and 4 slash, and she just stays in the air and floats, and it's like, cool drone, now I'll land. Nice drone.
So
and then you get and you get caught in the corner, and then it's like FML.
All right, so what is your overall verdict on Mr. Gold Lewis? Where would you put him in a what we would call preliminary tier list? Preliminary. Low? Damn.
Oh yeah.
Damn. It's like that, Gold Lewis fans.
I think, as much as I like the character, I think Anji's better than him. I think Faust is better than him. I think all the what's considered like bottom 3, quote unquote, right now. I think that they're all better than him. He only has his win condition is to win in the corner, and like I feel like you can play aggressively with him. I think you can play. I think defense is where he shines, but like
especially when you add on top of the wall break mechanic, then it's just like you could if you cut him in the corner, but the problem is you break the wall and then it's going back to neutral, so you're going to have to be very much work back into it to get him back into the corner.
Yeah, because like okay, let's say you happen to get them in the corner. Gold Lewis does massive damage, for sure, right? He'll have positive bonus, and that's a good thing for him because now he can do a lot of cool things. But I feel like you can kind of play around those cool things because he's still slow. So I feel like the comeback potential for the opponent is still in full effect because he's slow. So yeah, it's just I think it's hard. I do want to see more personally. I won't lie to you. I'm not going to be the one to develop that because Chip has enough problems in itself, like in terms of counter confirming and stuff like that. So like, I'm still going to be the one to encourage people to play him. But I think right about now, like within the current meta of the game, like,
nah,
it's just, it ain't it, man. Don't get me started on Soul. Soul can vortex like everything.
Oh my god.
Drone, vortex. Gatling gun, vortex. Behemoth Typhoon, unless it's the one that goes underneath, you can still vortex.
You know, ShinKensou, I think we might be making a mistake during this podcast. I can already see people going into other people's streams. Yo, Shin said Gold Lewis bottom 1.
Oh,
no, I can already see it.
Hey, look, I'm not gonna cap. Like look. There's two things I don't do. I don't lie to myself, and I don't lie to the people. So even though I'm a big Guilty Gear fan, I can recognize like. And I'm not saying that there won't listen. I'm gonna make this clear. I'm not saying that there won't be someone that will be amazing with Gold Lewis, like how Daru is with Ino, right? That's not to say that there won't be someone who can be like that, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't change the fact that the character still has problems, right? Mm-hmm. So even though I may feel some type of way, there could be someone else that sees something that I don't. Like I'm not perfect, but I will tell you for sure, right about now. It's looking rough out here, man. Like it's listen, it's tough out here in these Guilty Gear streets trying to run Gold Lewis, man. When you got like Rams running, you want here? I'll give you another one. Even though I think the main matchup is kind of even-ish, what are you supposed to do about Totsugeki? I'm gonna hit Far Slash, and then she's just gonna backdash and Totsugeki again.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna do Behemoth Totsugeki. All right, Behemoth Totsugeki. All right. I'm gonna do Super. And it's too hard.
Yeah.
Her jump arc is so diff. Like Gold Lewis's 2H is an amazing anti-air. It's a shame that May jumps and falls immediately. when May's jump may as well be a small jump from KOF.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
She falls on you with jump H, and it's like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I can jab it and then she hits 5H, or she hits 2H and it's delayed, and it's like, cool, counter. Am I gonna burst? And she's licking the May player's licking their lips like, I know you want to burst this because I'm gonna do a big damage combo to you anyway it goes, and I have meter. So what do you want to do? and then you burst it, and then they have meter to do super and the wall break, and then it's too hard out here, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. It's hard. It's hard. It's too hard. It's too hard.
Gold Lewis just wanted a pizza. That is all.
He just wants his pizza, man. All right. So Chad is asking, what is Gold Lewis? What matchups is Gold Lewis good in? That's what they want to know now.
I think Nagaryuki is probably like his only good matchup.
Yeah,
because it's that matchup is because so I feel like drone is most of his whole game. I think level 3 drone is where it's at because that's the only thing that lets you move forward, right? And Nagaryuki's movement isn't the best, and Gold Lewis can actually run an air dash. So Nagaryuki still kind of has to jump and play around drone. And I think you can even play with level 2 drone too. Mind you, I will also say, I think, that's why I said May is kind of close to, it's like May favorite, but drone stops Totsugeki. You need level 2 and level 3 in order to do that. But I think Nagoriyuki is probably like the only one I think that's probably like in his favor. But even if I had to be honest, like even though you can stop his mobility, like Nagoriyuki does not need meter to kill you. So I still think that's probably the only thing. And I don't think Gold Lewis has a single 6-4 whatsoever.
Wow.
He has nothing. He has nothing that he just outright wins. Like I think Andre gives him a hard time. I think Eno gives him a hard time. I think like every character on the roster can give him a hard time. So like there's nothing to me that seems remotely close to like. Listen, chat. Think about who's on the roster. And even then, even with me saying Kai seems even, I still think Kai has an overall advantage because he has air stun edge.
Yeah.
Drone? I guess I'll just air stun edge.
Yeah.
Like, there's a specific thing that you could do, right? Against Potemkin that you can do against Gold Lewis. Which is, and this is something you should learn how to use meta, is space your air fireball to tap the very top of his head.
Yeah, that's like TK. Like, that's the TK heavy one that does that.
Right. And if you can do that, because that's how you stop Potemkin's flick in like a lot of the old games, and you can still even do it in this game. So if you do that against him a lot, he can't use drone.
Yeah,
he can't.
I did that
use
today.
The things that he
Actually,
wants to do.
I did that today.
Yeah.
Mia summoned the drone, and I hit him with 2 TK air stun edges, and then blocked the drone. He couldn't even touch me.
Like when you start to understand that like characters who can zone him out do not have to fight him. It's like you can play the slow, meticulous game and then force him to run at you. And his jump is so low. So again, everything anti-airs, right? So 2H will anti-air, 5H will anti-air, 6. Every button you press standing will most likely anti-air him.
Yeah, 2H anti-airs him. Like, I got so many 2H anti-air counter hits. Yeah. Even when I was playing a Celestial the other day, that was like my main anti-air tool when he would jump at me is like 2H, you know?
Jump is too low. It's like when you think about it, it's like, so the speedsters run him over. Right, so Chip, Milia, Geo can run him over. I think Geo has a tough time getting in, but then it's like, hi, I'm Giovanna. I have aerial dive kick super that leaves me at plus. So hi, Gold Lewis. I am now inside. Sure, he can do. So here's the neat thing. So every character can 6P and beat that thing, but for some reason or another, what I tested was Gold Lewis's 6P tends to clash with it. So you know what you do with it as Giovanna? You clash and hit jump P to cancel. So you do super and mash P. And if he has nothing else he can do because his 6P is 13 frames on a clash.
Yeah.
He has a second slowest 6P. So Geo's jump jab is gonna beat whatever he does, and she's back in. So coming back to options.
So Pont, do you have any questions or anything?
We had a big discussion completely on the Gold Lewis completely, and that was the latest question I sent out. But looking at Gold Lewis, then do you think like the people at Arxis will actually pick up the pieces and just like, it seems like a lot of players are having a hard time winning with Gold Lewis right now. Should we keep that in mind when we go into not maybe this current season, but maybe the next season pass? It's just like, okay, some of these characters were way too weak. We need to make sure that we can reach a certain amount, a level where we have good alternatives to certain characters, meaning that we want to have this beefy character who should still have a good approach and attack range against Axel and Ramapol and stuff like that. Or do you think there is going to be like, well, just here's your Bridget, here's your bike, and here's your Holy Order soul?
I think I do think that they will give him some love. It's just how much, you know, because one thing that I've always known, because Pachi did Revelator. He was the battle designer for Revelator, and one thing he told me about Arxis game design was like a lot of times they make things and let the players figure it out. And so, but it is a little counterintuitive to me because Soul exists and they admitted to overswimming that asshole. So. I think that they will give him some love, but I think it's gonna mostly come by the way of nerfing other characters as opposed to buffing him. Maybe.
All right.
It's kind of. It's hard to say, but I do hope that they do buff him to some capacity and kind of rebalance some of the other cast members to kind of let him play a little bit more.
What buffs would you like to see specifically on Gold Lewis? What do you think needs to be buffed?
I think his / hitbox could go a little bit lower to pop like low mids. So like 2Ps and stuff like that. Right now it's a mid high and it's like it's good, but like it doesn't hit what it probably could hit. His 6P should definitely not be 13 frames. I think it should be at least anywhere from 11
frames. God damn.
13 frames.
Oh, that's
See,
crazy.
Nagaryuki's is 13 frames, but it moves him forward.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Now Gold's is 13 frames and it's narrow. So like to put it simply, like let me tell you an easy way to bait his 6P. Use a run momentum and neutral jump. Because he's looking for the forward jump from the run momentum, but you neutral jump and it's narrow, so it's right outside the range. So then your move will whiff, and he whiffs a whole 6P, and it's like time to die.
Time to get counted.
So I feel like 11 frames 6P, 12 frames 6P should be fine. Far slash is still 10 frames. That's pretty standard across the board. He has like 8 frame normals, man. I think he needs at least. I think his 5P is like 6 or 7. I think he could use one more quicker normal to try to help him kind of like get out of things. His super is mostly fine, but I think since they made it so you have to do 720 in order to do the upper, I think if you're gonna, I really wish that they made it to where like when you do the super, you mash buttons, and then during the animation it can change, as opposed to you rolling. Yeah, because it like defeats the purpose of like I want to do this confirm, but I have to do this first. You know, you have a prerequisite that isn't necessary, and there's characters in video games who had supers like that. Like I look at it as like if you ever played like KOF or Capcom vs SNK, there's Yamazaki. Yamazaki has a command grab super, and you mash the super, and you know his animation changes. Like he looks crazy, then he gets crazier and crazier and crazier. It's like level 3 crazy, where he's like and it's like all right, cool. Now I'm doing level 3 super, and I'm doing massive amounts of damage, as opposed to all right. And then you miss it, and you're like, oh man, my whole confirmed. I really needed this super, and I missed it. Well, it was unfortunate for me. It doesn't mean you can't learn how to do it, but like simplify that, right? I think, maybe make drone activation a little bit faster.
I feel the same. I think his drone activation should be a little bit faster as well, to make it like more viable in a neutral situation. You know?
Yeah. I would agree with that as well. I think that some adjustments would be nice on gold lows right now, like a few frames here, better wind up here, closer, shorter recovery. And it kind of made me think about the super where he has to do the 360s during his massive DP attack. It kind of reminded me of a certain character from Battle of Fantasia, actually, where you have this massive dwarf-ish character where he would actually grab you, and then you actually had to spin, do a 360 constantly, and you would helicopter away up into the sky, and then he would throw you, slam the opponent down to the ground. It kind of reminds me like that's some interesting cool stuff to say, just similar to say with Yamasaki. And it's a cool idea. It's just like you kind of want to make it more clear to the players. For me, I was just like, you just have full security level, and then you just do smash the system, and you would get the free drones as well.
That would be nice too. Like I just feel like there are arbitrary things that are added because they say things such as like, we made this game easier for players to get into, to do this, that, and the other. And it's like, and also not to mention, you made it so you could play any controller that you want. To some degree, Gold Lewis is very counterintuitive to that because of Behemoth Typhoon in itself. So it's like, are you guys sure about that? Because this is not exactly
intuitive, yeah.
This is not exactly intuitive.
I told folks, I was like, he might be an analog stick controller, analog stick type of character. That seems like if I was to play on controller, I would have to learn how to use the analog stick to do any of that stuff because, like I can't even imagine trying to do that on a D-pad, like that's the ice, But I think that's it for the interview. So let's give it up for ShinKensou for coming through. It is now time for the ceremonial commentator washing, where our guests will wash your favorite PC League commentators in the first to 3. You never know. I might get a game or two, but overall, it is what it is. So, I sent you the room code.
Okay, I'll give it a try again. It's probably all lowercase.
Yeah, it is all lowercase. Yeah.
Okay,
so
that's what I mean.
So I'll go first, or Pont can go first. Pont, you want to go first? You want to face? Okay. You want to go first? All right, cool.
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna switch the screens, turn up my game volume, and we are gonna get going. And let's make it happen. All right. Let me take my fight stick. So I'm gonna commentate, bruh. All right. So there's this bug where my game sound, like I turn it off and then I turn it back on and then it doesn't work anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, that's weird. Anyway, I'm going to spectate. I set it to I set it to first to 3. So hold on a second. I hope that my game sound will work if we switch screens. Buffer probably. Yeah, you can buffer it in like a move or stuff like that. Yeah, ever since the update, that's like a new thing where like if I turn my game sound off, oh my god, it's still actually not working. All right, well, we're going to have to play some music over it. Or at the very least, I might have to redo the room and restart my game so that we can get some game sound. You guys down to do that real quick?
Yeah, sure.
I'll just restart my game real quick. All right, give me 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. We got to fight the lobby, boss. We got to fight the, whatchamacallit.
You have to fight server boss.
Yeah, server boss. Again. I'm sorry.
The true arcade mode boss wasn't Nagoriyuki in his boss form. It was the server
It
lobbies.
was the server the whole time.
Yeah, it was our code the entire time. Anyway, so while we're waiting for my game to load up again, does chat have any questions for Shin while we wait for my game to load up?
Guilty Gear Strive.
Because they were asking a lot of questions before. Chat, you guys got any question? You wonder how he does against Milia? Still haven't played the matchup since she doesn't have to care about drone, gun, and air-to-airs that can deal with jump D. You wonder how he's supposed to play that one?
I guess I'll just die.
Yep.
Like, I mean, he can fight it, but it's just you cannot let her get started, and I think that's very hard for a character who just is very mobile.
Yeah. I mean, the crazy thing is like, the idea that you said that Pachi said, they just make stuff and then y'all got to figure it out, right? Like, that's an interesting concept to approach a fighting game with, and I guess that goes in line with their whole like reflect on yourself, don't blame the beast mentality.
Yep.
They just want
Basically.
they just want you to figure it out. They want you to overcome the bad matchups. You know what I mean?
There was a time in BlazBlue where I was having difficulty with Bane.
Oh,
And I messaged Pachi whenever he was still, he had just got on the Arxis at that time. Mind you, me and Pachi are pretty tight. Maybe not so much in recent years, but I messaged him on MSN and I was like, Pachi, I have no idea what to do. And he was like, Dora told me the same thing. And this is what I told Dora. Gambare. I was like, do my best. What is this Gambare? No! Like,
bruh.
you guys have made the game. There's gotta be something I'm missing.
Nah, that means they don't know themselves. That's what that means. That means they don't know themselves. They just throw it in there and they're just like, hey, figure it out, dog. Good luck.
You're on your own.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
So there you go. Anyway, yeah, I don't know, man. I would say this. Is there a favorite matchup with your chip that you like? Is there
Potemkin.
Potemkin? Now you remember when you came and commentated one of the fight nights and you saw like I think a week or two after that, like the Potemkins were just washing the chip players. Like it was crazy, Like what do you think? Let's talk about that chip and Potemkin matchup actually. Well, what do
Chip
you
wins.
what do you think about that? I personally feel like whoever gets started wins, basically.
Chip wins.
Chip wins it? Just period?
100%.
Really?
Mm.
Oh, that's crazy.
They are like there are things that I know over the years that chip players don't know. Remember, like everyone is still new to this, right?
Got it.
I've been fighting this for well over a decade. So a lot of the old stuff that works in the old game still works in this one. And in this game it's even more exemplified because, for example, on Wake Up, every Wake Up option Potemkin has loses to K Alpha Blade. 100%. And if I was to show you this corner situation that Kentucky players love to do and think that this is like the answer to everything. If you saw the options that Chip had on it, you'd be like, there's no way Kensu. And I will show you every last option that he has and how it loses, and you'd be like, that's cheap. And I would tell you, yes, you're right, it is cheap.
Alright, so here's the new room code. It's 7, B as in boy, J as in job, the number 0, U as in user, and J as in job. So there you go.
Alright, let me get back here.
And I'm gonna set myself to spectate. There you go.
I missed just right now what you said.
Oh no! Alright, hold on, I got you. Give me a sec. Alright, so Pawn's gonna go first. And the room code is 7, B as in boy, J as in job, 0, the number 0, U as in user, J as in job.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not gonna remember all that. So I'll copy. Oh wait, is it on the screen? Oh, there it is. Okay, it's on the. Okay,
Yeah,
I have it streaming.
Yeah, I pulled it up on the stream. So I'm gonna commentate this first to 3 at first, so you guys are gonna hear me fucking scream in your ears the whole time, and then Ponce also gonna commentate my game versus you, so we all gotta hear Ponce scream in my ear too. So there you go. But not gonna lie, when you're hearing the commentary, it actually kind of hypes the match up a little bit for you. Like, it makes you feel like you're in a real anime battle. Like, when you hear it happening. You know what I mean?
Before I press this thingy, I will say this really quickly. Why is Latte destroying good chip players in? It's because a lot of chip players do the one thing that people have problem with in NA playing shooting games. They hold the W key.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Do you watch my stream, bro? I talk about how motherfuckers in Guilty Gear love the W key. They literally play like it's fucking Fortnite, bro. They just W key double bump all day.
I'm like, dude, just chill. Don't worry about. But negative penalties. So what? You're winning the match. But what about your meter? I don't care about meter. What is he supposed to do to me? Like literally, like what is this character supposed to do to Chip?
What can he do after he keeps distance?
All right, so we got our first match up right now. Let me turn off this match right now thing real quick. Very nice anti-air. Good with punish. Or actually good punish. More than on my way. Where is this match right now? Alright, here we go. Alright, nice pressure right now into the Gamma Blade. Corner jump in. Stopping Ponce's corner escape. Good block. Corner jump does. Huge counter hit. It's going to be the wall run combo. Let's go. Oh, but the drop. Alright, nice with punish. Ponteronten keeping that corner pressure right now. Flicks the bomb at him too. Double bomb though. Throws another bomb. Very nice 6H. Oh, that was sick. Real good punish from Ponteronten. Alright, ShinKensou looking for a way in right now. Both these guys are one touch. Ponteronten tries to go for a gold burst. Gets the anti-air. He's gonna RC going my way. Very nice. Oh, nice. The 3-framer. The legendary 3-framer. Yeah, we're just doing exhibition matches. It's all for your entertainment, guys. Very nice meaty leaf grab. Yo, that move is so hard to deal with. Another one. But the jump dust on reaction to the dodge from Ponteronten. It's going to get the wall break. Positive meter bonus. Going to have 100 meters soon. Oh my god. Staying heavy. Burst from Pont. He's going to try to save himself. Nice jump dust. But that's going to be a DP on hit because he's a chip main after all. They can't help themselves. Nice jump in. Pon's gonna early burst that. Doesn't want to give advantage. Tries to go for a 2S. Gets the counter hit on the 2. Heavy slash proximity meaty grab. Pon's like, hey, I got those too, buddy. Ooh. Nice jump. Nice. Gets the afro. Let's go. Pont with the ambiguous mix-ups. Ooh, tries to run up 6B. Nice, takes his turn, tries to go for 5H. Trying to. Ooh, okay, shit, got those. DP leads grab again. Is this conditioning?
Oh, nice.
Are you kidding me? Yo, what are these reactions? Is this Summit? What?
Man.
Oh my god, what are these young man reactions? Okay. 5 heavy. Oh my god. That move is so yikes. Alright, drill kick. Yo, how did that actually whip? Oh my god. Nice knockdown. Nice wake up jab from Ponteronten. No cancel though. No RC on the 6H. Tricking him out with the Rekkas, and that's going to be 2-0 so far for ShinKensou. Bruh, I gotta say this is pretty crazy. Like you're playing chip in a way that I haven't seen anyone play chip. Imagine a chip player playing neutral, guys. Rare footage. All right, look at that neutral right now. Oh my god, a nice 6B. Oh, actually catches a whip to go on my way. Proximity grab on top of the little man. Mix up, yo. Nice, calls out the 5H. Very nice, good burst. Kensou being extra aggressive, not trying to get mixed with that afro. Oh my god, he is ready for that fuzzy. Jesus Christ. Delayed Rekka. Kensou is ready for that fuzzy. Oh my god. Nice YRC. Kept the meter for it. Goes for the low. Last game. Let's see if Ponteronten can bring it back. Oh my god, it's air to air. Yo, you were just talking about that air to air thing, and you're like really good at that. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's crazy. You're like stuffing all of his air moments in a big counter hit. Drops the combo though, unfortunately. Mix up. Goes for the air into the leaf grab. Big mix-ups right now. Meaty Gamma Blade. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Are you fucking kidding me, bro?
That's what happens.
Are you kidding me? Wow. So I gotta play this guy. I gotta fucking play this guy now.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't play like any other chip, bro. What the fuck?
Justin, you're going against a Grandmaster here.
Oh my god. This
No, I mean, I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable or anything like that. Just, Gambare.
Yeah,
Gambare.
Gambare, bro.
Gambare.
Yo, I don't think I played against someone who got this sharp reactions like that. Like, that's some. I don't know how I'm gonna be. I don't know how this is gonna be. Oh my god, this is gonna be a wash. Listen, man, me and Pond are commentators. It's always gonna be a wash, bro, on the FGC podcast. Yeah, we're trying to get Elba Shadow on here. What you think it's gonna be?
Duel 1.
Oh boy. That's gonna be a whole kettle of fish, especially with a mirror match. Time to fight the Okage. A little delay from my end right now, and we can see a whole lot of pressure right now that is going on. It's going so quick for me right now because it's catching up everything that's going on. I'll commentate eventually. Good sweep right there from Shin. Just getting up with the things right now with Kai, applying a whole lot of pressure to the corner right now.
Wait, you can punish
Shin
that?
manages to break out of it, punishes it, gets punished with a DP. However, it's Punish City over here. It seems like it's going really well right now for both of these players. Very good job.
Let's fucking go!
Back and forth right now with the controls. Shin going a lot more pressure right now, making sure that Kai Justin doesn't get out of this trouble. Applying a whole lot of pressure right now, building more to the risk. Justin managed to break out there with a wake up DP right now. However, he's going back into the block state, causing Shin to go ham right now with all his block strengths. Taking him out, even creating a wall bounce, giving him positive tension.
Nice. Nice jab. Bro, young man reactions out here, bro. Oh my god.
Good now, neutrals right now back and forth between these two players. very good amounts of focusing right now. Shin going for it, and Juste is holding a good amount of defense right now. Good challenge. Good challenge again right now. Shin is going for it as well. He's realizing he's going to activate all his Okage powers right now. Good request.
Nice jump. I thought you were gonna meet him.
Oh, very good punish right there from Ride the Lightning. Shin going for it with another wall break. It will not be enough to kill, however, it will guarantee him positive tension.
Oh my god!
Oh wow, the surprise there from the jump 2D, jump 2K rather.
Bruh, how did you know?
Right now, overhead, and the first match point goes to Shin.
How did you know?
Said it yourself, man. Hokage.
How did you know I was fuzzy it, dog? Come on, son.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Second match game here, we'll see how this will go. Juste keeping a little bit more on the offensive right now. Shin is very careful around here, but he does take a chance to play around with Juste. Tries to find opening. Good use of Alpha Blade. Tries to do a command grab, but right now it comes back right now through neutral between these players. Good use of the stunners right there. Good try attempt with the jump 2K, but Juste was good and good to block it. Going back to neutrals right now. Good use of projectiles. Good Alpha Blade. Good follow conversions, keeping the pressure on right now on Juste, and he's taking him a whole lot. And the wall break bounce. What? Shin managed to break him out of it and grabs a grab out of it.
I'm not even gonna lie.
And he's getting schmecked, as you said, yeah.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Good connection there. There he is, going at it right now. Shin is taking his time right now, finding a good opportunity to strike. Well, Juste is just trying. He's picking up the pieces right now, and he's just doing it, using all the tricks he got in the book. Well, Shin is just at it like crazy. Another wall break. Good blocking right now from Juste right now. Shin trying his best to get opening.
GG's.
Oh, wow. GG's.
I was really waiting on that overhead, man. I was waiting on that overhead too. Juste got spit. I was waiting on that shit, bro. I was like, yo, he's gonna do that shit.
Duel 1.
And now he's got his eyes on you. See here, going back to neutral right now in this third game. Good. Not the best burst right now, but it gives some breathing room. But right now, it doesn't matter to Shin because he takes it as a green sign to keep on with the pressure. Juste doing the full Velar. Keeping him out of the block string on his own right now. Gets punished with a DP. And then another command grab. Juste trying his best right now. Gets surprises with the Alpha Blades. And Shin is just going at it.
Oh my god, that was an input error.
If he did not get the grab.
GG. That was an input error, bro. That was supposed to be 4-4 charges on edge.
Oh.
Oh no.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Match point right now for Shin. If he takes it, he will move. He will take it in this friendly little bout. Good amount of use from good Alpha Blade, keeping pressure right now. Juste trying his best right now to get some breathing space right now, and that's not doing so good. Oh boy, the punish on that burst. And we get another positive tension situation. Juste standing with 50 tension, but they used it for trauma cancel.
Yeah.
This might be a very tricky situation.
Oh man, I'm so pressured, bro. Got me fucking up. Got me fucking up out here, bro. I didn't expect that shit to hit, not gonna lie. I wasn't ready for that confirm. I was not ready for that shit. I was like, yo, this ain't gonna hit. This is just to get in.
One thing is for certain, we got sweaty. At least.
Yeah. No, we definitely gotta run that back one of these days, bro. Definitely.
Oh, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. 100%.
Yeah.
Definitely want to share the matchup with people that see. I don't know how to explain it, but like, I've been hit by everything under the sun over the last decade plus.
Yeah.
So like, I'm very, very careful about how I want to approach people and how I want to like attack. and like I know the range that you're good at, so like I'm trying to stifle your normals. So
Yeah, and that was the thing that I noticed in the game is that you weren't like you literally said it before you started playing. You weren't W keying like most chips. Like most chips, I can get them. Like I can get like a lot of hits off, a lot of counter hits, just because they're always like go 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 all the time, right? But like you were constantly like outside of my range, and when you were in my range, you knew when I wanted to fuzzy. You knew when I wanted to like DP. You knew you just knew. Like I was just like, yo, like what do I do here? You know, like I was
It's
like,
all into the knowledge of the matchup.
yeah. So really quick on that fuzzy. Like when I saw you block the 6K, I was like, all right, I'm gonna J2K again, and then I'm gonna put you in another compromising position now because you show me you're willing to block that. So I was like, all right, now I'm gonna go low. And if you block the low, I'm gonna go into 6K again anyway. so you gotta go. So you have to readjust at some point. Either way it goes. So I don't know. And then from there also you have 2K 2Ds. But that one in particular in my mind, I was like, all right, you block this one, so I'll go low and then I'll go overhead again. And if you were to block that, then I lose my turn and I accept it. So I'm like, all right, well my turn's over. So now you get to attack and it's your turn. So I'll just play defense. And if your defense doesn't, if your offense doesn't push me back, then I'm okay to just big chill right here. And okay, it was just a far slash. Okay, I'll just no stun edge. All right, cool. So
Nah,
I
that's
don't know.
really good.
I'm
definitely a different style of chip because most chip players play the same. Like I said, this was a very different style of chip. This was more methodical. It was more like I'm gonna shut down all your options style.
Oh yeah.
And I did feel like a lot of my options were shut down. And did you feel that way, Ponteronten, as well?
I felt the same thing as well. I just realized like, okay, I'm just gonna say what I think was going through Shin's head. It's just like, okay, Pont didn't block this alpha blade, I'll try again. If he blocked it this time, I'll try something else. So it was just like 1, 2. Okay, I think he's gonna catch on now. Better use something else.
That's because Kai has limited options. No, Kai has great options. It's just Shin was doing a really good job at making me not use those options. Like, for example, the Rekka stagger, right? Like, in that situation, I'm used to either, like, delayed low Rekka, or they try to either go to delayed low Rekka or straight into, overhead Rekka, right? So that's what I was waiting on. I was waiting for, like, delay. Like, you saw me sometimes poke a button out in between, and I'm like, okay, he's not doing nothing. What now? Like, shit. It's like, because then if I press now, I'm going to get hit with 5H, right? So I was like, I can't get hit by 5H because then I'm dead, right? And then I'm like, he's not doing the Alpha Blade K, Alpha Blade P bullshit. He's not even doing that, He's barely using Gamma Blade on top of that. He's not giving me nothing to DP. He's giving me nothing to air throw. He's giving me nothing to counter hit. You know what I mean? Like, he's literally giving me nothing.
So in the first game, when I saw you DP, I was like, okay. I was like, information. So you DP after Gamma. So I was like, oh, okay, I got it. So you know about the plus frames, and you're not gonna let me abuse it here. So I'm gonna just do Rekka 1 because I know Rekka 1's -1. If I go Rekka 2, it's gonna be -6. So I naturally give up my turn at that point. So I would stagger really long, and once I saw that, I played off your rhythm. So your rhythm was to do delayed things. So I was like, I'm gonna delay with you, right?
That's interesting.
So
because Kai gets a lot off like delayed buttons, delayed Gatlings for like counter hit shit. So
yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna just delay everything that I do because I know you show me DP several times, and you DP when you didn't have meter. So I was like, okay, so he's willing to risk it here. There's no meter involved here, so I'm not gonna stress it, and that's okay. Because if he had meter, then I'm gonna die harder, right? So from that point on, I was like, I'm gonna do everything on you. Everything that you show me, I play off of you.
That's
like. So yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. So there you go, guys. Guilty Gear Day 1 player experience comes into Strive. Read your whole fucking life. There you go.
That's the problem. It's like, actually for us it was really quick, but for Shin it was just like he went through our tragic past of how many L's we took during our time fighting games. We heard like the sad Naruto music playing in the background. It's just like Soka, and then immediately goes back to the action. It was done within the episode.
Hey man, it's like they say, man. I definitely take the Hokage tag seriously. I'm definitely on my Hokage status where I'm definitely on my Kakashi. I definitely have my Sharingan. I definitely saw it before it happened. I'm trying my hardest to not get hit. I'm trying my hardest to play like proper neutral. Like, cause even like I won't lie to you. Like, I don't really play the Faust matchup, but like I know that like I'm just gonna play it slow, wait for my opportunity, and then I'm gonna go ham. And then when that opportunity's over with, I don't have to press my advantage because I know that you're gonna counter hit me. So why should I put myself in a position to get counter hit? I'll just let you whiff first, and then I'll counter hit you. You know?
That's crazy.
So
This man was in the game like, oh, so when you were 15, she rejected you. Okay, I'm gonna use that. I see that. Okay, I see that in the way that you're playing. Yeah, you had a crush on Cindy, and she said no, and she went and fucked Tyrone in the high school bathroom, and you saw it, and it broke your heart. Okay, got it. Understood, Meta. Now I'm gonna do this tech because I know.
Allow me to use the special nujutsu to give you the same appreciation.
Yeah. Now let me use this technique because this will hurt you deeper. Anyway, guys, that's the podcast. I hope you guys have fun. Shin, once again, thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
I know you're like popping on Twitch and YouTube and stuff, but I'm definitely glad that you took the time to come to our little, abode over here.
Hey, man,
community,
I'm not Hollywood. I support Guilty Gear no matter who. I'm not Hollywood.
All right.
You can hit me up anytime.
All right. Well, here we go. We gotta, what we gotta talk about now? The Strive Major before we go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Guilty Gear Strive Major. I'm gonna be putting up 1,000 myself into the Matcherino, like towards like the finals, September 25th. We got 8 weeks of qualifiers starting this Saturday. It's gonna be on PC, NA East, EU mostly, Russia, Middle East. Sorry, I do believe we have about 90 people signed up. I'm about to check the Smash GG right now. Give me 1 second. But Shin also said that he was interested in commentating and co-hosting with us some of the weeks. NYC Furby's gonna come and co-host on the first week with us. And but yeah, you're always welcome to come through the channel, Shin, whenever you want. Yeah, we got 88. We got 88 people.
Awesome. It's good to hear.
Yeah, we got 88 people, so it's gonna be crazy. Like the last time I had this many people was for the Mortal Kombat console. No, I think it was the PC League series that I did about a year ago, which also had $1,000 prize pool that I put up, and we had like 100 people every week. So, for those who don't know, we do weeklies on this channel as well, Guilty Gear weeklies. We're gonna start doing Melty Blood weeklies as well. You play Melty Blood, Shin? Or you interested in Melty at all? Yeah, we're gonna be messing around.
I did that first, but I am now. Yeah, absolutely, I'm down.
Awesome. Well, we're gonna be messing around in Melty as well. So, there you go, guys. Ponteronten, you got any last words for the chat?
Make sure to practice, guys. We have the PC League coming up now, so you better actually put some effort into it and learn to match up with those characters you have trouble with. And learn also, you ship players. Learn from the Okage here. What you just saw.
Yeah, learn from your boy, because like I'm gonna tell you right now, if every Chip player played like this motherfucker, Chip would be even higher up in the tier list, definitely. So there we go, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
See ya.